Hello and welcome to Inward Journey. And today we're doing this podcast from Wandjuri land. And my name's Kevin and I'm here with Janine.
Yep, and I'm here too. This is the land of the Kulin Nation where we're doing this podcast today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
I got that wrong.
No, you didn't.
Sorry. Which brings us to my topic, which is saying sorry.
That's our topic today, people.
Saying sorry is the topic.
Yeah, we're going to explore saying sorry. This is our podcast on all things relationships, Inward Journey. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Would you want to stop it there?
No, I'm not sorry. Yeah, all right, I'm stopping it. But how come you never said sorry to me?
For what?
Everything. Lots of things.
Actually, before the podcast,
Yeah.
I said sorry to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I missed it.
How did you want to start our topic today,
I was
Kevin?
hoping you'd start, actually.
No, you can start.
No, you can start.
No, you start.
Asha can start. Asha, you want to start?
Ashley, do you want to start?
No, she doesn't.
I'll get her to make a noise. Ash!
Yeah.
No, she's not going to.
Sorry, she won't make a noise. Why on earth would you say sorry?
I think some people are trained very well to say sorry about everything.
Okay, that's not good, is it?
No, it's not good.
No.
Sorry for existing. Sorry that I'm in your way.
Yeah.
Sorry that I have an opinion.
Sorry that the weather's not to your liking.
Sorry that I'm in your space.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry
Whoa.
that it isn't your liking. Sorry that you don't agree with me.
Oh my God, that's painful.
You know that there can be quite a few people who are conditioned to say sorry about much.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it while you say that. Yeah, I guess there are. But yeah, there certainly are people who do that.
I'll never forget when we stayed in Sydney. When I'm saying we, there was a group of us going to a professional development, group of counsellors, social workers, psychologists, and we were staying in the Catholic College over in North Sydney. I can't think whereabouts exactly, but anyway, over that sort of the northern side of Sydney. And I remember in the hallways meeting a couple of people, and there were some Catholic nuns who were staying there still.
Mm.
And as I walked past in the hallway, I watched this nun pull her body away and say sorry. And it was almost like she'd made herself smaller as she pulled away and came along the hallway, and it was, sorry I exist. I felt so sad. I wanted to grab her and pull her and say, damn, we'll take up the space, please, woman.
Oh.
That might be a tad aggressive.
Well, yeah.
And not appropriate.
But yeah, I get it. Whoa, that's pretty full on, isn't it?
When I think of saying sorry, sometimes my mind goes to those type of people. People who say sorry about much and
Like
everything.
saying, oh, hello. Oh, sorry about that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry if I've inconvenienced you in this moment of a conversation, because they don't know that they have the right to speak, to interrupt, to change the topic,
Yeah.
to exist.
Okay, so sorry can be like, oh, I'm apologising for my whole being
Yeah,
because I spoke then.
yeah.
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 Oh, no, that's yuck.
Oh, it's sad, really.
Yeah, also yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have an apology story.
Okay.
It's not really, I'm going to make one up, but I have a story about saying
You
sorry.
can't make up a
Well, of course I
story.
can. Well, it's not a story then, is it? I'm going to anyway. I'm not going to say sorry. So there. So it's like sometimes sorry isn't enough. In fact, sometimes sorry doesn't really need to be said at all. It's like I'll do the example I did earlier with
Oh,
before we
yeah.
start,
I like that.
which is really simple, but it works. So like, I come round to your house and then bang, bang, bang on the door really, really hard, and they keep banging, and I'll wake people up, and the dog starts barking.
She would.
And you open the door and you're frowning, and I look at you and say, I'm sorry, and then I come in or whatever. And the next day, I come around and I do the same thing again, and you open the door and I say, sorry. Not okay. What's okay? Clearly not okay. What's okay is to change the behaviour. So all right to say sorry, but a good idea to change whatever behaviour you had to say sorry for, which excludes the examples you were given. This is like, you don't need to say sorry for being alive. Yeah, but for having done some kind of something, some kind of behaviour which isn't okay, rather than just go back and say, oh, I'm sorry, which may be the first time you've ever said it to them. It may be the 1,000th time. You go back and say, hey, look, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And here's what I'm going to do. Instead, I'm going to change my behaviour.
Because I guess if you're saying sorry in that way and you keep doing it, you're not really sorry.
No, you're not sorry at all. It's just like some reflex action. You've been conditioned or taught that that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's all right to do this bad behaviour or antisocial behaviour or annoying behaviour and just say sorry.
I'm hoping that for the listeners out there, you might be challenged to or invited to think about the times that you do say sorry, and do you really mean it? Because I think sometimes, again, I've been talking about those people who are conditioned to say sorry, and I think particularly women can be very much in a trap of that. I've certainly known some men that have been trapped in that way of being and expression as well. Sorry that I'm interrupting, sorry that I'm here, sorry. But I know that particularly women can be conditioned to those ways of feeling like they're intruding if they interrupt a story or group of friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a different sorry, aren't you?
There's two different kinds of sorry.
Yeah.
So I get your sort of sorry, but my kind of sorry is bad behaviour. Like, bit by bit stealing all your furniture and then coming back and saying, it was me, I stole it, I'm sorry. Not okay. Best to bring the furniture back, say, sorry, I did that, here's the furniture back, and I'll never be doing anything like that again. And then going away and living that.
Yeah. You know, the one that pops to mind often, and I've worked with a lot within counselling and in groups, is that one where people get angry.
And
then they say,
kind of game.
And then they say sorry, and then they get angry. It's not even angry, because angry, we can all be angered.
So is it
but it's more the aggression that comes out with it. So whether it's the yelling or the swearing at someone or the name calling or the other things that go with it, and then saying sorry, and often people can feel very ashamed of their behaviour, and they can feel very regretful, and they haven't wanted to do that. But I wonder sometimes, again, with that apology, and they might be quite sincere, and I have experienced
I'm sure they're
people
sincere.
very
Are
sincere.
they going to change their behaviour?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you talk to somebody or whoever it is, one person, a group of people, about what's just happened, or it might have happened a while ago, and say, look, I'm sorry, and I know that I did this is what happened, and that's how I've done that, and I've done it before, and I'm not going to do that anymore. This is how I'm going to approach it. And then go away and do that. There's something about getting beyond the sorry and acknowledging what you did, and then acknowledging that you're going to change it, and saying to them and to yourself how you're going to change it. And making maybe some people out there will be able to tell that I'm talking about some of the parts of a fellowship that I belong to. But maybe they'll also be attached to it, a way that you would make things correct, if that's possible.
I'm not sure I follow you.
So, I come here and steal all your furniture, steal your lovely sofa, put it on my shoulder,
old.
Run off down the road with it.
Okay, you'd be strong. Yep.
And I've stolen it. You don't know who stolen it.
Yeah.
And so making amends would be to bring it back, put it back, say that I was sorry, tell you what happened, and assure you that I was never going to do that again.
I think I might take a while to trust you, though.
Yeah. So you might even tell me to piss off. So it's the fact that I changed my behaviour that's really important.
Yeah.
That I don't turn up the next day and do the same thing again, or the next month, or the next year.
Okay, so if you were truly sorry, and
no,
you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait for me. Wait.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah. I can see. But if you're truly sorry, then I imagine that if I didn't trust you, because I'm not going to.
I just stole your sofa.
That's right.
Why would you trust me?
I'm not going to.
No.
Don't worry about it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe never again. Or
Oh,
maybe
Ash is
sometime
worried
later.
now.
We're shouting.
Sorry.
Sorry, Ash.
Sorry, Ash.
Sorry, Ash. Oh.
Then I would struggle to trust you, and I might not let you in.
Yeah.
And I might not offer you a cup of coffee, or I might not meet up the street
You might
for coffee.
throw a bucket of water over me.
Let's hope I don't. But anyway, given that, then what's your resolve? If your resolve is to change your behaviour, then what about if I don't trust you and I don't invite you back in and you're close to me?
Which is entirely reasonable.
Yeah. Then what for you?
That's really sad for me, but I learned to change my behaviour.
Because I think sometimes what happens is people who say sorry, not you, Kevin, and not my experience of you. Or maybe if we go back, no, people don't. Let's not go there.
Don't do that.
If we think about sometimes when someone said sorry, there almost feels like an obligation from the person on the tail end of that, of poor behaviour.
Say it's all right.
To say it's all right, to invite you back in.
It's not all right.
To tell you that it's all okay and I forgive you and everything's honky-dory and we get back onto an even keel.
Okay, so let's do a bit of role play. Hello, Janine.
Hi.
I've just turned up here with the van outside to tell you that it was me that stole the sofa. I'm sorry. How does that go?
Not good.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I'm pleased you brought it back, but...
it doesn't work, though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
And it doesn't work for me, which was my point. But if I did the same thing with or without the sorry and said, so I'll just put it back and I want you to know that I'm sorry about what I did and I won't be doing that again. And here's how I'm going to do that. And I understand that you might want to throw a bucket of water over me. Mm-hmm. And I accept that. But I'll just be on my way with changed behaviour. Yeah,
well, I'm just not over it just yet. I'm going to take some time.
But that's fine. We're way past that because the point is... Now I've forgotten what the point is. The point is that...
You were going to turn up with the van?
So, no. The point is that...
I clearly don't know Kevin's point.
Sorry isn't enough sometimes.
It's not enough.
Changing behaviour is the thing.
And then we get into this idea that changing behaviour isn't always an easy thing, because I always talk about that people move in patterns and behaviours.
And you're right.
And patterns and cycles.
It
sorry.
might not be.
And sorry.
And sorry.
Sorry. I said a thing that was incorrect. So it's that kind of a sorry. It's not sorry I exist, but it's I've said an incorrect thing. What I went to say was people move in patterns and cycles, and sometimes really changing your behaviour is going to take some time.
Yes.
So what do we do with that, Kevin?
But we don't have to do anything with it. We can hold the person accountable.
Yeah.
That's great. I look forward to seeing the change in your behaviour. Mm. And if there's not, then it's about as valuable as the sorry, which meant nothing.
Okay.
What's valuable is that they work to change their behaviour.
So I guess you're talking about those people out there who are truly, hopefully, with their sorry, and what that means is there'll be a change of behaviour so that there is...
By the time...
There can be a component of forgiveness. There can be a a component of reconciliation
There
and
might
recovery.
be. They shouldn't expect it because people get really upset when you steal their sofa. So, yeah.
It's interesting. You're talking about sofa.
Well, just because it's there.
I know.
It's right there.
I know.
Yeah, it could have been lots of things.
And where I go with this, all of a sudden I had a flash of our Indigenous people.
Yeah.
And I started to think about how they've been told
The land.
sorry.
Yeah.
They've been given an apology, an official apologies. There's been a
Which
few
is
of them.
good. I'm not saying it's bad. That's good.
Yeah, and there's been our stolen generation and our lost generation. So there's been generations of people that have been mistreated, maltreated, and cruelly treated, and lots of things have occurred. And so the apology, if you think about that, again, in the same situation, can only be accepted if there's a change of behaviour.
Exactly where I was going to say. Yes, that's right. And here we are, 2024, and I'm not current, but I read something by a journalist, an Australian journalist who's no longer with us, who was doing some research in the Northern Territory, somewhere between Darwin and Cairns.
Yeah.
And there were still camps where Indigenous people lived. There was an overseer there. Like, and the camps were like refugee camps, basically, pretty grim.
Yeah. Oh, I think we can be accountable for poor treatment of our Indigenous people. Absolutely.
But yeah, your point was absolutely right. Sorry, and then followed by change of behaviour. Yeah, with some action which indicates a change of behaviour.
Yeah.
That's a real apology.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I like something that you've got, so I'll take it. Oh, look, I'm sorry I did that. Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then I'll do it again next time. I walk down the road and I see something else that I like, so I'll take it. I was like, oh, yeah, sorry.
I saw that cake on the bench. It was no dramas. Nobody had its label on it. So, sorry,
That's right.
I took it.
Anything from the really small to the huge. Yeah, so yeah. All sorts of sorry. There must be more sorts of sorry too. No?
I'm sure there is.
I can't think of any.
There can be the...
Sorry.
I've taken the cake and I had no idea that you earmarked it for later on this afternoon. It didn't have a label on it, so I am truly sorry.
But that's straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope so. It's interesting because I think sometimes people can also be empathic, or they can present genuine about their sorry. But again, if it's something that they do often.
Yeah, if it's a repeat thing.
If it's something that they particularly don't care about, you want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt at times. With some particular personalities, I'm going to know, look, those people are more vulnerable or they don't process as quickly as others. So in some ways, I'm going to hold different people accountable differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of when I was young. I don't know that we ever got to a point. I used to steal things from my parents. Well, it's nothing. It's just, 50 cents. It would have been a sixpence or something then. And so did my friends. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older, my mum knew all about it. She'd say, did you take that money out of my purse? Not only did I not say yes and I'm sorry and I won't do it again, I said no.
Gut feel is you intended to do it again.
I did intend. Yeah. So there's no apology there at all. Nothing. So, yeah, there's just a bad behaviour.
I was almost going to tell you a well-worn story from one of my kids when they stole. I won't.
No.
I won't. No, I won't be telling that story, kid.
Yeah. We used to get on our racing bikes. We were still young, maybe 11. And on a Saturday morning, there would be a group of us, not big, maybe 5, 6, 7 of us. And we'd ride 12 miles to a little town called Arundel. Arundel has a castle there. It's famous for having a big castle And behind the castle, parks and grounds, and a huge, lovely lake with swans in it. White swans. Anyway, parked in front of the castle. Apparently it's still there. So I'm really sorry if you're listening to this lady who used to, it must be whoever's got the shop now, who owns the sweet shop. There's a lolly shop there. And it only sells lollies, yeah? So it was a very small shop, and we'd all pile in and crowd the place, and the woman who owned it, I thought she was old. She probably wasn't that old. Anyway, she'd say, what do you want? And someone would say, yeah, have one of those, and a couple of those, and a couple of those. And we had some money, our pocket money probably. And then eventually someone would say, and I want some of those gobstoppers up on the top shelf. I'm pointing up, everyone. And she would say, okay, she must have known what we were doing. And when she was up there getting the stuff, we'd fill our pockets as much as we could. Then she'd get down and we'd pay her, and we'd be eating lollies all the way back home. And that was all we went there for. So we cycled 24 miles to steal a few lollies.
Do you think that she trusted you?
I don't know. If it was me owning the shop now, I'd either chase them out with a broom or I'd figure they must really need to do this right and take the lollies, so I'll let them do it. There will be a limit. The limit would be how long it took me to get the lollies and get back down the ladder again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference I was trying to make with my story before around sorry is relevant to the relationship of the people, to who it's to and from, and what's actually happening. So I think sometimes asking for advice around should I say sorry or not is a very individual thing, and it's got to do with an individual relationship.
I can think of some times when I haven't said sorry and I wouldn't.
And you needed to?
Well, you could be the judge of that. I'll tell you briefly. Now, stealing somebody's drugs, illicit drugs. So you're going to go back and say sorry for that? Probably not.
No, but there's a whole story of accountability before, of what's happening for you before, and a whole story of how you know the person. And I'd be unpacking a whole lot of other things, people. I don't know about you.
But as an actor...
So it's interesting that often people go to the end story. There's this big fight and he threw a punch or she did this and he did that. That might be fine.
Yeah.
There's that going on. That's a big, impressive conflict or high conflict, if you like to think about it that way. But in those times, there's often a whole gamut of stuff that has gone on before that can be unpacked. And what happened before that? And what happened an hour before? What happened the day before? Or what has been building up that hasn't been expressed?
I needed some drugs and I had no money.
Yeah.
So I took them.
I think you possibly got an opinion about this as well now.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it now.
My point being...
We're talking 50 years ago.
That's right. My point being, we can't always look at the end product of what has occurred. It's always really important to go, what's happened in the build-up and who was or wasn't accountable. And in the end, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, is you're the only one who can make a decision for you.
Yes.
And you're the only one who control you. Let me tell you, people, listeners out there, you're the only one who control you, nobody else.
But the other point, you make good points there. But the other point about sort of trying to set things right is that you don't try and do that if it puts you in danger.
No.
Yes.
I guess that's where I went,
Yeah.
That was very
if you need to apologise and make some kind of amends, then you'd have to find another way of doing it. Not that way.
Yeah, there are other ways.
Yeah.
Don't put yourselves at risk, people, please.
No, definitely. Not in any way.
No. Don't do that.
Not whether it's violence or some other kind of risk. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Safe options. Yeah.
Yeah, just say sorry. I like this topic.
I can tell.
It's an easy one. Yeah.
Good. It is. It's fun. I feel like it's really important that if I make a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
and I can think of a particular time when I was a bit short, sharp, responding to one of my daughters at one stage, and then I thought about it later and went, oh, that wasn't nice. So I went back to them and said, baby, I'm sorry. I've actually overstepped the mark and I've been short with you, and I was thinking this, and you did not need to hear that. That's not fair or not nice on you. I apologise. I don't want that to be part of our relationship, and I just want you to hear
So
that
you
I'm
did
sorry.
more than say sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me it's the amends.
Yeah.
So it was the explaining and checking, are you okay? Did you notice it? And they had at that time.
Yeah.
And it was really important that I was able to be with me. If I've made a mistake, if I'm feeling guilty, and not the kind of guilt where you're trained into guilt, you feel guilty for existing or guilty for asking for something or guilty because you haven't done something. That's not behaving badly. That's trained guilt.
I was going to say that would be behaving stupidly, but it wouldn't be good for me to say that, so I won't.
No, it's not. There's a lot of people out there that feel guilty. They've been trained to feel guilty if they haven't looked after everybody else but themselves. That's
True.
not a way to be, people. Guilt is only there for a good reason if we've behaved badly, and if we haven't, it doesn't need to be there. So let me just get back with my story. So I was feeling somewhat guilty, very appropriate, and I listened to it, and then I responded to our daughter about that. And I'm really pleased that that's important to me. So sorry is a really important word to me.
But it also, I imagine, the guilt would have vanished.
Absolutely, because it's about the amends.
But how come you never said sorry to me?
For what?
Everything. Lots of things.
Actually, before the podcast,
Yeah.
I said sorry to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I missed it.
Remember? So Kevin wasn't quite himself.
I was someone else. No, I wasn't, yeah.
You were not quite yourself. And I gave you a strong talking to?
Yeah.
A strong talking to.
Well, a talking to which wasn't...
Which said how capable...
You weren't colluding.
No.
Yeah.
A strong talking to where I said how capable and how much I believe in you and get your act together, buddy.
Yeah, you did that.
Something to that effect.
And did you pull up?
And well, it was a different kind of apology. So I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let you go down and wind yourself into a hole.
So it's a sorry that's not a sorry.
Well, we both knew it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's individual and depending on what's actually happening in the circumstances. Yeah.
So, in terms of the second part of the saying sorry, which you just spoke about, which is the making amends, when I stopped taking drugs, I owed a lot of money, and most of it was to the bank. So, it's an amount that I borrowed, various loans.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell you how much it added up to, but it was a lot.
Mm.
And I made a decision that I was just going to pay it off, and I was also made a decision to pay it off as quickly as possible. And I proceeded to do that.
Okay.
And then I finished doing it, and I met this guy who was also a member of NA, and I don't know how it came up. It came up in conversation. It turns out he was because he's retired now, he was a financial counsellor.
Okay.
he helped me with a few things, but he also said to me, and it was amazing watching him work, it was incredible. And then at one point he said to me, I wish you'd have come to me before you started paying back the bank all of that money. And I said, why? He said, because I could have easily got them to agree to take just a percentage of that. So, okay. And carried on. And a few days later, I thought, no, I'm glad that I actually did it. I'm glad that I did the right thing. That was the right thing to do for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of impact did it have on you?
It had two impacts.
Yeah.
The first one was when he told me, was, bugger, that's a lot of money. How can I get it back? And the second impact was slower and more thoughtful over a few days. So I went, yep. But I need to be accountable for that. And I borrowed that money and very clear what the terms and conditions were. And I don't want to be owing them the money. And so I've paid it back, and that's okay with me.
As I'm listening to you, it seems like that was much more settling.
Yes. The other way would have been also okay. But I think for me, might have contained a bit of the old behaviour. Okay, so I can get away with something. Yeah. And it was a lot of something. So, yeah. No.
I can think of another time I'm reminded of a couple that I was seeing at the time, and without going into any of their story, they talked about their child, and they were talking about the particular behaviour of their child, and I'd said, sounds like, and I made a diagnosis about their child in terms of neurodiversity, and they went, okay, and thought about it, and we had a continued conversation, and then they went away. And then when they came back the next week, they said to me, we did not like that, Janine. That was not good. We were sent into a terrible spin of distress hearing about the diagnosis that you've given our child. And I was incredibly sorry. And they said, you're not trained to diagnose our child or people. And I said, that's absolutely right. You are right. And I can see this has been very distressing, and I apologise, and I'm so sorry. And they continued to come and see me, and I was grateful for that, but many people wouldn't have, and I wouldn't have blamed them at all. They didn't have to come and see me. They didn't have to forgive me.
But you didn't try and argue it.
No. Oh, no, they were right.
Yeah.
And I had wronged them, and I did talk about and explain why I'd done that, because I see neurodiversity as a way of processing. Many people process differently, and I didn't have a judgment on that. I just thought this was a valuable thing that their child
But how good
does.
to be able to go, yep, you're right.
Yeah. And it
Instead
was
of going, hey, I'm the one that knows.
yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I'm happy to not know.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
That was my point.
Yeah. And I'm happy to know when I do and give it my best, but I can't know what it's like for the person. They can hear my information and go, that's not relevant. That's fine. They're the expert on themselves, not me. But I can have expert opinion or understanding. And then again, whether they take it or work with it, that's really up to the person. But I really respected this couple, and I thought, how brave were they to come and tell me? And I would have respected if they didn't come back again. I was pleased to know so that I could say that. And I'm sure there have been times when people haven't come back for varied reasons. Yeah. So.
Well done.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So sorry can be a very valuable or layered and complex
Just
word
like saying
and
no.
experience.
Saying sorry, saying no.
Am I going to walk out and you're going to record something in a minute? On your own?
Oh, no.
In secret?
I would never do that.
And are you sorry about it?
Not sure what you're talking about.
That was on last
Was it last
times.
week? Last time.
Last time now podcast you did
Which
something
hasn't gone
about-
out yet.
I think it has it?
Is it?
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
So many of them. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't.
Cool.
It was Asher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if in doubt.
So,
Blame the dog.
blame the dog. Yeah, yeah.
I hope this has been a fruitful conversation for you all.
I've had fun.
I've had fun.
It was good.
Yeah, thanks very much,
Who
Kevin.
would have thought saying sorry could be such a fun conversation? There you go.
Fun, valuable, insightful, interesting, diverse, and
Not going to
depending on how you
apologise
use it.
for it.
No.
No, definitely not.
I'm not sorry. We chose this topic.
All right.
So that's it from me.
And me and Asher. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to chatting to you again.
Chat to you soon.
Keep us in mind. We've got some interesting topics coming up.
What was the other one that we almost did today?
Know yourself.
To know yourself is coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
better put your know yourself hat on. Or even better, put your I don't know if I know myself hat on.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So we've got them thinking about it even before we've got the topic coming. Yeah.
We might get some ideas.
Yeah. There's Greg. He's just walked in. So we'll ask him.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks. And that's bye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.